Hello students, how are you? I hope all of you are good and safe at your home and continuing with your studies. We are still having bad time with this pandemic, coronavirus, and in this regard, we must continue with our studies wherever we are, and we are always in contact and actually trying to be in contact with you via the online classes. And in this regard, I am continuing with the grammatical portion, preposition, and this is the continuation of the 6th or 7th part, I think. So let's see. We have already studied about the uses of on, but here again we have on, upon, and onto. I have written here it's a comparative study. Actually what happens that most of the time you get prepositions that are quite confusing, and this is the grammatical portion that is asked at the various level, and time and again you get confused, and most of the students get confused regarding some very easy uses of preposition. In order to clear that confusion, here we are going to study, actually know the basics, so that you will never get confused again. On, upon, and onto. First of all, see the differences, meaning on. We have already studied that if something is on the surface of something in the touching position. In the first or second class, I have already told you something when it is placed upon any surface in the touching position. Like this pen marker is on my palm. So in that position, if something is in the surface in its touching position, the preposition on is supposed to be used. The position of rest on the surface. Here, the definition says, the use actually says, the position of rest. Mark the word. The position of rest. If something is here in its rest position, in this surface the candle is in rest position, it's not moving here and there. It is placed, it is fixed somewhere, and neither it is, hanging somewhere. The preposition differentiate on the basis of these things, basically. So I have told you time and again, try to verify, try to know the nature of the sentence. The actual nature, what the sentence actually wants to regulate you. So the position of rest on the surface is simply the position of rest on the surface. We are talking about on in comparison to upon. A bird is on the tree. It means that the bird is in the rest position. के हुनु पर्यो त यो उडिराखेको हुनु भएन, यो हाँगामा के हुनु पर्यो, रेस्ट पोजिसनमा बसिरहेको हुन पर्यो है यो कुरा हामीले पहिला पनि डिस्कस गरेका छौं नाउ सी अपॉन सँग कसरी यसले भ्यारी गर्छ द पोजिसन अफ मोशन नाउ मार्क द वर्ड motion rest and motion are actually opposite to each other if something is moving it's not resting if something is moving it's the movement and if something is in motion it means that it is not in rest so upon the preposition upon is supposed to be used while the thing seems to be in motion. As for example, the lion jumped upon the prey. The lion jumped upon the prey. It's the action upon when simultaneously action happens and something is in motion. The lion ले के गरे त शिकार माथि हमला गर्यो जम्पिङ पोजिसनमा जम्प भनेको एक ठाउँमा बसिराख्दाखेरि त्यसलाई जम्प भनिदैन नि सो के भयो त मोसनमा गयो एक्सन मोसन मुभमेन्ट भयो लायन इज द पोजिसन अफ मोसन द लायन जम्प अपॉन द प्रे शिकार माथि के गर्यो त जम्प गर्यो सो त्यहाँनिर मुभमेन्ट भयो अपॉन ले के भन्छ मोसनमा हुनु पर्छ त्यसैगरी रेस्ट मा के हुँदाखेरि चाहिँ प्रिपोजिसन के हुनु पर्छ अन हुनु पर्छ सो इफ सेन्टेन्स सेज जम्प यसले के गर्छ त यहाँनिर अन राख्ने कि अपॉन राख्ने कि अरु कुनै प्रिपोजिसन राख्ने त्यसले अलिकति यसले पनि के गर्छ जज गर्न हामीलाई चाहिँ मद्दत गर्छ द लायन जम्प when the word jump is used you have to know that it must be in motion it must not be in rest so the position of motion very clear the position the lion jumped upon the prey and the very example like it's a famous example actually the cat sprang upon the rat the cat sprang upon the rat. It's very common thing that whenever a cat sees a rat, it wants to catch it, wants to have it, wants to eat it. So the cat sprang upon the rat, jhamptyo. And whenever it jhamptyo, spring ko ke bhन्छ sprang. So sprang hune बित्तिकै त्यो के भयो त मोसन मा गयो The cat sprang upon the rat. Motion मा जानु भनेको के भयो यो upon को use देखाए as a preposition. So the example says the rat must be in running position in motion at the same time the rat is trying to catch it out. So the cat sprang upon jhamptyo upon हुन सक्छ त्यो दुईटै के हुन्छ मोसनमै त्यतिखेर छ त्यस्तो सिचुएसनमा चाहिँ प्रिपोजिसन upon युज भएको देखिन्छ नेक्स्ट so the basic difference between when we are comparing on and upon as a preposition you have to mind both these two words rest and motion next we have onto we have separately read about on and read about to as well but sometimes the preposition onto is used and you have to make it as the preposition use it as preposition sometimes the option maybe you're onto as well so the movement towards surface now let me make it very clear there are only three words movement towards surface. How? I told you rest, the position of motion, this seems to be movement as well, but onto says movement towards surface. Then how? What is the movement towards surface? Suppose if you throw something, if you throw a book, a diary upon a surface towards the table, okay, and it slips, it actually slips from here to there, it covers few distance actually. कुनै पनि चीज यहाँबाट फालेर यति भए पनि यसले के गर्छ, यो कभर गर्छ भने यो स्पेस त्यसले चिप्लेर कभर गरेर चाहिँ पुग्छ भने त्यतिखेर त्यस्तो अवस्थामा चाहिँ के युज हुन्छ, प्रिपोजिसन onto को युज हुन्छ, मुभमेन्ट टुवर्ड्स सरफेस। घास्रिने प्राय के हुन्छ, त्यो घास्रिने अवस्थामा गइरहेको हुन्छ। He threw a book onto the table. It doesn't mean that he threw and the book was exactly at the place he wanted to keep it. No. There may be some, it might have traveled some distance. के distance अगाडि पछाडि भएको हुन पर्छ, चिप्लेको अवस्था, स्लिपरी टाइपको। So onto the movement towards surface, and it doesn't mean all the time it is used for the non-living things. I mean something substance. It may talk about living things as well. So movement towards surface, either living or non-living, according to the use of the sentences and use of the nouns in your sentence. Try to differentiate it, movement towards the surface. So basically and simply it seems when you talk on, upon, onto separately, it may take various previous rules as well, but when you talk in comparison to all the three, upon, on and onto, you have to mind few basic keywords that make differences between these three prepositions. So I will give you few more examples. Let's see. Okay, now let's see the comparative study of OFF, off and on as preposition. We have already discussed about OFF off only in our previous classes, and on as well. We have discussed on plenty of times. So now we are talking about OFF off and on comparatively as the use of preposition. OFF off. What is the literal meaning of OFF off? Generally, if you say off, it means banda, disconnected, off. So as the means of preposition, we are talking about OFF off. See, it means removed, disconnected. While you are given the option OFF off as preposition, you must have to think one thing, that what the sentence is talking about. What is the nature of the sentence? What meaning is it trying to give us? And you have to decide whether to use the preposition OF or OFF of, or on, or onto. While talking about the preposition OFF of, you have to put in mind that it means removed or disconnected. Something is not in touch. And it is little bit scientific use as well. You know, while you talk about off, suppose you say that my cell phone is off now. It doesn't mean that you are not having it with you, but it is actually disconnected. It is disconnected from any of the networks. It can't perform scientifically. So you have to see one thing, that while you are talking about OFF off as the preposition, what off it is talking about? It means remove and disconnected. While it is talking about the physical removal, it is talking about the scientific disconnection. So the tire is off the car. What does it mean? The tire जुन कारमा पहिलेदेखि सेट थियो, जसको कारण त्यो दौड छ, जसको सहारा लिएर त्यो के छ त झिकिएको छ, off, निकालिएको छ, off. It has been taken out. So it has been removed. Mind this word, removed and off has been interlinked here. And if you are talking about disconnection, and if you talk about the off of your mobile or cell phone, it is disconnected from any of the networks. You can't use it. You can just see it as an object, but you are not able to use it. You can't make any phone calls. You can't use internet. You can't play games. So disconnection and removal, both words should be used and kept in mind differently. Now talk about on. We have already talked about on, that it is the use while something is in touch position upon something on its surface. It means connected, not removed. As we are talking about the comparative study of off and on, you must have to be very clear that if you talk about off, what is the opposite of off? OFF off. Definitely it is on. If you switch off your mobile or cell phone, television, you can on it as well. You can make it on. Means it will perform, it will work when you will switch it on. So it means connected, not removed. Do not talk about this word, just see connection. If you disconnect the wires of electricity, if you disconnect the wires of your fan, any gadgets, will it work? No, because it is not connected. So to make it connected, you have to make it on. It means connected, not removed. The tire is on the car. Now, the sentence seems to be confusing here. It seems that the tire is on the car, but it is very clear that the tires are not supposed to be on the roof of the car or inside the car. But students may question me that, sir, why not? The tires can be put inside the car for extra purpose. Yes, but what is the general concept? Do not talk about your mind-made exceptions. Do not talk about. While doing preposition, you are not supposed to make silly questions and silly thinkings. So what is the general rule, the general conception, the general thinking, the general happenings that is supposed to be used and concentrated while doing preposition? So the tire is the thing that car needs to move from one place to another place. There are lots of things. There are engines, other things as well, but tire is also a part of its working machine. So the tire is on the car. It means that tire which was removed out of the car, it has been fixed again. फेरि के गरिएको छ त्यसलाई फिक्स गरिएको छ, त्यहाँ लगाइएको छ. So the tire is on the car. So as we are talking about off and on as its comparative study, and use it while opposite to each other as a preposition, you have to make it clear in this way and use it like this. So here is the example. His jacket is off now. This sentence seems to be unclear, but while we are talking about clothes, it is either put on or put off. कि त लगाइन्छ कि त खोलिन्छ. So the jacket is the cloth. The jacket is a cloth that is worn. So the jacket is off now. His jacket is off now means he was wearing a jacket and now he has put it off. So do not get confused. It seems to be a little bit ambiguous, but like these sentences is very clear to use the preposition OFF off, not OF off. Now, next example, he is off his duty. You might have seen in the movies or somewhere else that he says he is on duty officer, he is off duty officer. Means on duty and off duty. Means if you are off duty, you are not in the duty at present time. Your duty time has been finished. So he is off his duty now. It means that he was on the duty, but right now he is off duty. And if you say he is on duty now, it means that right now he is on his duty. Means his working hours are running now. So this is the use of off and on comparatively, and we'll work upon few exercises related to on, onto, off, on and upon in the next classes, and you will be sent with some exercises as well. So try to do all those exercises, reviewing all the videos and the previous classes, and we'll discuss it while we meet. Thank you.